My name is Rip Irwin, and I'm author of the book Lighthouses and Lights of Nova Scotia, and I welcome you to my world of lighthouses. We have here a map. It's a work in progress. It's not totally complete yet, but you can see there's a great number of lighthouses, 247 on this map, and there's a great variety of lighthouses. You'll notice that some are flashing, some are fixed. These are the proper characteristics of these particular lights, and it's what you would see if you were about maybe 50 or 60 miles in space and could look down at this at night. I would imagine that that'd be something like you would see. It's a great project, and I'm so proud of it and the people that are putting this together. They're doing a great job. Every trip was an adventure. I never knew what was going to happen, and most often there would be something would happen. Every lighthouse I've ever visited would have a connection with another lighthouse, which would have a connection with another lighthouse, which would have a connection with the first lighthouse. So my advice would be to get yourself a Zodiac. Any other kind of boat wouldn't do it, because you have to navigate it around reefs and shoals and rocks, and any ordinary boat would be smashed to bits.
Hello, my name's Wayne McDonald. I'm a faculty member here at the Community College in Stellarton. I teach the cabinet making program. 3 years ago, I was asked to attend a meeting with the Northumberland Fisheries Museum people in Pictou to discuss the idea of building a lighthouse. So 2 years ago, we started building the lighthouse, not in Pictou, but here in Stellarton. We built it at our campus here, and we assembled it here, took it apart, put it on a truck, and then shipped it to Pictou and reassembled it on the wharf that was constructed for the new museum in Pictou. After that was done, of course, they wanted something to put in it, so this is why we got involved in basically phase 2 of this operation, and that's the construction of the map behind me to indicate where all the lighthouses are in the maritime provinces.
My name is Lee Macbeth. I'm a first-year electromechanical technician student at the Nova Scotia Community College in Stellarton. My principal role in the map was wiring the lights. The flashing lights are the most challenging ones because each one requires an individual circuit with a timer in order to get the signature. I just see a lot of history in this map, and I'm a real history buff, and to me this represents something. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And this represents something that my children could see and appreciate, because the lighthouses might not necessarily be around by the time they're old enough to actually visit one. There might not be a lot left. So to me, this represents something that's going to give them some indication of what there was at one time.
I would not venture out if the sea was over 3 meters. So that's about 9 feet, I guess. But I would get the marine forecasts, and they always gave the sea state. So that was the thing I paid particular attention to.
Temperature 12, wind north 11 knots. Bank row, bank buoy, temperature 8, wind
That's
north,
basically what I
northeast,
would get on here as well. That's the weather station.
June 15th for Prince Edward Island. Today, cloudy with sunny period. Wind north 20 kilometers per hour.
I usually kept a journal. I do know that I enjoyed many nights by myself, especially on islands. It was a chance to, I guess, to explore my inner self and to think about a little bit about life and what it was about. But it's quite a thing to be all alone on an island and know you're alone, and when there's no light or sound, and My favorite thing to do would be on some of the cold fall mornings. I'd hustle up into the lantern where it would be warm. You know something? I think my scariest trip was the very last one, was Flint Island. I left it to last because I was told I wouldn't be able to get on Flint Island. There had been several lightkeepers lost on that island, had been drowned, and it was very difficult to get on. It, as I described it, looked like an aircraft carrier at sea. It was quite a small, flat island with the lighthouse sticking up. And the sea was breaking on all sides. But anyway, everyone that I talked to said, "You are not going to get on Flint Island, my son. You'll not get on Flint Island." And I said, "Oh yes, I will." So I was scared to death. But anyway, I got on, and getting on wasn't as difficult as getting off. Getting off was really hairy because I had to go into a breaking sea, and I just had a certain amount of time to get the motor down, get it started, and get through the first breaking sea. And they were quite amazed. They said, "You didn't get on, did you?" And I said, "Oh yes, I did. I was there for the whole day." So anyway, that was the scariest. All right, it was just because everybody said I couldn't get on, and you know, they built up this fear in me. So once I got there, there was not the fear. I guess it was just probably a feeling of elation, you know, doing something they said I couldn't do, and you know, the pride of having done it afterward.
Rip, can you tell me again, is there a haunted lighthouse in Nova Scotia?
Every lighthouse in Nova Scotia is haunted, according to local people and local lore. Oh yes, you can't find a lighthouse that's not haunted. They all have a resident spook. Yep.